Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I am Chad. I'm the Reseller Rockefeller. Today we're going to be talking about how you can broker a deal between a seller and a buyer. So basically, this is for all of you out there that are resellers. Everybody that's in the reselling game should be doing this. You should implement this into your business. You should be offering this type of stuff because there's no reason to pass up on a deal. Basically, a broker is just somebody that is the middleman or the middlewoman between a seller that has something for sale and the buyer that's wanting to buy that item, and you kind of facilitate the deal and make the deal happen, and you make money on the back end. Usually the buyer is going to be the one to pay you. So this is something that I find a lot of resellers completely avoid this part of the business. They don't even know about it, or they don't care to do it, or they think it's too hard. This is a big part of my business. It's a big part of my life, and I think it's a really easy way to make money. And this is why I always talk about networking. I always talk about building relationships, because you never know when you're going to come across a deal and when you can put two people together and make money on that deal. So I want to share a quick story with you guys and girls, basically to give you just a little bit of backstory and kind of give you a kind of like a picture of understanding what I mean by doing a broker deal or being the middleman between a buyer and a seller. A couple of weeks ago, I got a phone call from a gentleman who was wanting to sell a coin collection. He basically had a huge coin collection, and I jumped all over it. I told him that I was interested and that I would like to come out and take a look at it. I basically drove out to his house. He owned a huge piece of property. Long story short, his father passed away about 3 years prior to this, and he inherited the house, the entire estate, and along with that was this huge coin collection. He said his father had been, collecting coins for over 45 years. It was a really, really big coin collection and a lot of really, really high-end coins. Most of the coins, I would say, at least 95% of the coins were graded. Most of the coins were really, really nice, and immediately I knew that this was a deal that was just way over my head. Basically, I got there, I looked at the coin collection for about an hour and a half. I looked up a bunch of coins. We kind of went back and forth and spoke about a price and what he was looking to get for everything. We also spoke about his situation. That's one of the big things that you have to make sure you do. You have to cater to somebody. If somebody's selling an item, especially a huge collection like this, or a very expensive car, or just an expensive item for that matter, you need to figure out what the seller needs, what the seller wants, what is his expectations, why is he contacting you? All of that stuff is really, really important. Even if you're not being a broker, if you're the one that's actually trying to buy the item, all of those things are important because you can play off all of those details to make the deal work out better for you and, obviously better for the seller too. So he basically explained that him and his family were selling the property. They were selling the house. They're going to go on a very long RV trip for the next 2 years. And they're just trying to liquidate pretty much everything so they can get some capital, so they can buy the RV, and so that they have money and all that good stuff. So I basically knew from the very beginning that this guy was looking to do a deal fast. He was also looking to do a cash deal. He didn't want to go through all of the hassle of banks or anything of that nature, which is really understandable. Some people want cash. Some people don't care that, it doesn't matter to them. This person wanted cash, right? He basically immediately told me that he really didn't know the value of the collection, but that he had a good friend of his that is somewhat knowledgeable in the coins to come over and kind of give him a quick rundown on what he thought the coin collection was worth. So I basically told him the truth immediately. It's always best to be honest with people, especially in a situation like this when you're talking about $40,000. I basically immediately told them that I wasn't the guy for the job. I basically wasn't the one that could buy the coin collection. It was just over my head. I'm not a coin expert. So, I know enough to get by, but, obviously to drop $40,000 on a coin collection you have to be damn sure that you're going to make your money back. And that's not something that I was sure of. So I basically told him that, this deal isn't for me, but that doesn't mean that I can't put him into contact with somebody that would for sure buy the coin collection. And I gave him a quick rundown on who the buyer is that I was talking about. I explained to him that me and the guy had done deals in the past. He was all okay with it. Basically, I gained his trust. He believed in me. He told me that he would give me a shot. He would give me 2 days, and that was it. So I basically took some pictures. I took some photos, some videos, and I sent it to my guy that buys coins. Now, the guy that buys coins is somebody that I've known for quite some time. I always talk about networking. I always talk about building relationships. And this is somebody that I've known for years. Me and him have done deals in the past like this. I've sold him coins in the past. And every time it's always worked out really, really well. The guy is obviously extremely wealthy. He has a lot of money, a lot of capital, and he will drop, large amounts of money on coin collections if it's worth it, obviously. So I sent him some pictures. I sent him a few videos. He definitely was interested. He basically set up a time to come up to Gainesville from South Florida, and 2 days later he showed up. We went to the guy's house. We looked at the coin collection. We spent about 8 hours looking at this coin collection. Let me tell you something. When it comes down to coins, there's a lot, that goes into buying a huge collection. The buyer has to sit down and look at each individual coin. Even though all of these coins are graded and they're graded by a reputable company, the buyer has to make sure that these are not fake. The buyer has to make sure that they're all legit, and he has to, constantly run numbers and figure out exactly how much he's going to make and all that good stuff. So it was a very, very long process. So, I ended up spending about 2 days with this deal, talking with him on the phone, talking to the seller, meeting with everybody, looking over the coin collection. It took me roughly about 2 to 3 days, but it was well worth it. I made a good chunk of money, and I really didn't have to do much of work at all. Yes, it did take me 3 days, but I made a significant amount of money. So this is something that I wanted to share with you guys and girls to let you know. If you're a reseller and you're out there hustling like myself, and you go to yard sales, estate sales, thrift stores, and you're in the business of buying and selling items, there's gonna be times when you run across deals that maybe you just don't have the capital to jump on, or maybe you don't have the knowledge. Maybe you don't know if it's a good deal or not. Don't be afraid to put yourself in the middle of a deal. These types of deals happen all the time, and people understand what a broker is. People understand what you're trying to achieve. The guy that was selling the coin collection immediately knew, he understood exactly what I was trying to do. He didn't think that there was, something fishy going on. He didn't, think anything. I basically sat down with him. I explained that I was a reseller. I explained that I had been in the business for an awfully long time, and that over that time period, I had made numerous relationships with people that deal in coins, and I had somebody that I knew that could be trusted, and somebody that I knew that would be serious enough to come and drop $40,000 on this collection. And that's all it took. The guy knew that I was serious. Obviously, you might run into situations where people think that you're not serious, or that you're trying to get over on them. And those are situations that you're going to find no matter what in life in general. You're going to have to talk your way into the door. You're going to have to figure out a way to make the deal work out, and that's just something you're going to have to work on. Obviously, I've been in the reselling business a long time. I do really good under pressure. I know how to negotiate deals. I know how to close deals. I know how to make deals happen. So it's fairly easy for me, but it's going to be fairly easy for you. You just have to get your feet wet. You have to get out there and do it. And this is why I talk about networking and building relationships. It's very important in the reselling business to not only get your name out there, but also meet others that are doing big things just like you, so that you can actually have those connections when you come across deals like this. So anyways, everything went really good. The coin collection ended up selling The guy that bought the coin collection told me not to say how much he sold the coin collection for, but or how much he bought the coin collection for, but it doesn't really matter. None of y'all know who the guy is, so it really doesn't matter. He paid $38,000 for the coin collection. It was a really good deal, and he's going to make a lot of money. I made a little bit of money on the back end, and that's all that matters. And that's why I wanted to share it with you guys on the channel, because I think that this is one part of the reselling business that most people stay away from, or they just don't even know it exists. Most of you are probably watching right now and saying, hey man, I didn't even know that you could do that, or I never thought about that. And I just wanted to kind of put this little seed in your brain so that later on down the road, if you run across a deal or you run across somebody that deals in a specific item, always make sure that you take down their information and that you build that relationship so that you can, have that information kind of stored away in your phone or on your computer for times like this. You never know what you're going to run across. I get phone calls all the time just from friends and family and people that I've built relationships with. All the time I get phone calls. Hey, Chad, I just seen, this huge deal of blah, blah, blah. And I wanted to know if you were interested or whatever. It's all about building relationships. It's all about networking. And it's all about making sure that, you're actually making at least some money. You don't want to be doing this stuff for free. It's all business. You got to look at it, in a very business sense, because if you start doing these types of deals for people and you're not making any money, then you're just, being a really good friend, obviously, but you need to make money because your time is worth money, and that's what this business is all about, right? I'm looking to make money no matter what, even if I'm not the one buying the item. If I can be the broker / middleman of a deal, I'm expected to get paid, and that's just the way it is. And trust and believe that when you're doing deals like this, the person buying the items, they understand that. You know what I'm saying? And maybe if they don't understand it, you need to let them know before you ever do a deal with them that you're expected to, that you're expecting to make money off of it. And talk about a percentage or talk about, a flat rate or whatever the case may be. That's for you to decide, and that's for you to figure out. But anyways, I just wanted to keep this video short. I just wanted to share that with you really quick. Hopefully everybody that's watching, you're able to learn something from this video, and maybe you're going to be a broker on a deal soon. Maybe you come across some kind of deal and you don't have the capital or the knowledge to go ahead and close on that deal, and you can be the middleman and you can make money on the backside. Let me know down in the comment section if this is something that you've ever done before. I'm really curious to see if resellers out there do this on a regular basis like myself. So let me know down in the comment section. If you liked the video, give it a big thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I want to just say thanks a lot for coming and watching another one of my videos. Until next time, folks, I'm out of here. Peace.